What investments? Where? In what way? We will have guides. We will have Monica Ray. We will have a collection of leaders who will help us to get this right, who will ensure that the voice of the community leads the way, understanding how best to activate, not just inside the arena, but outside the arena. This is a proud moment for this organization, but this is just the beginning. And so I want to thank each and every person that's here today, especially our board members, past and present, who make this possible, who create an environment at our organization that puts mission with vision in action each and every day so that we can show up with the greatest impact. I want to thank our partners, Monica Ray, Councilmember McDuffie. I want to thank the mayor for her vision. I want to thank Angie Gates for her partnership and her patience. I want to thank her mother, because apparently Angie comes from a long line of deal closers, for creating an atmosphere and a place that we felt like we could be, with partners who see the vision, who share the vision, and see us as part of that journey. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for the work that you're doing. And thank you for the investments we know you will make with us for what comes next.
Once again, if you'd like to give it up for Brian and all of our panelists here today for all of their wonderful thoughts about the commitment for this community and, of course, this facility. But with any new plan and new vision, there are questions, right? And I'm a firm believer that closed mouths don't get fed. So why don't we get fed right now by our Mayor Muriel Bowser, just for a brief period of Q&A for you. So thank you, ma'am.
Okay, great. All right. Well, I'm thrilled by those remarks. I might have to get some Care First Blue. We appreciate that. So with that, I think we're going to take a few questions here, and then there will be, is that what I'm doing now? A few questions? Okay, a few questions. Yes. Can't hear you.
Hello?
Yep, there you go.
Peace and blessings, Mayor Bowser. First, congratulations.
Thank you.
I had a couple of questions. My first one being, to what degree do you anticipate this partnership addressing concerns about use of Events DC, as far as the capacity and the degree to which?
I'll let Angie. You're talking about how this facility is used and how the partnership enhances that. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that question. This partnership will expand not only with what's happening in this building. As I mentioned earlier, it's more than the signage on the building, on the court. We're taking our actions and activities out into the community. So we will be focusing in partnership with Care First on everything from maternal health. We're going to be doing workforce training. We're also going to focus on health and wellness for our youth. So it will be a lot of community activations as well as medical clinics that we will engage with this partnership.
And just one follow-up, it's sort of a public health question. How do you encourage people to utilize these services? We're being preventative, but as far as engaging the community, letting them know that it's here, and encouraging them to take those steps to get here. How do we go about doing that?
So one of the things, and I just said this earlier, visuals can go a long way. When you're walking past this building and you see that Care First sign, that's one of the things that's going to just trigger you. And oddly enough, as long as I've been working with Care First, it finally dawned on me just last week the purpose in the name, Care First. care comes first. So it starts with the visual that we have surrounding the building, but we also are going to do deep dives with our communications team. It's not that you come for this event and you leave away with no information. We will be having information on our website, but we'll also have community engagement managers in this community that will be providing information, household information on people's doorsteps, and I also am going to be doing a walk in the community.
So I want to ask Brian to build on Angie's response, because in addition to putting their name on their building, this is what they do. Make sure that we're better connecting our residents to care. And as much as we are grateful that we have a hospital, we really don't want people to have to go to the hospital. We want them to go to the doctor first. Brian?
Thank you, Mayor. I couldn't have asked for a better tee-up. There's really two things that we should think about. The first is, what informs health? What informs health? 80% of health, my health, the mayor's health, your health, the health of this community, is informed by social and environmental circumstances. We have a tendency to look past that when we talk about health care. But 80% of what informs health and health trajectory are social and environmental circumstances. Those are the social drivers. And so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to invest in the community, informed by the community. And so what are social drivers? These are all of the things that we're born into and that we grow up around. It's food security. It's housing security. It's an opportunity to be educated and to enter the workforce and to have economic mobility. It's public transportation. These are the things that we will be investing in through our philanthropic arm with our partners. These are the places that you will see our volunteers showing up most consistently. And then there's the other aspect of health that the mayor talked about. Hospitals are incredibly important places. If we're doing our job, most people will not need to use them. We need to create access points, because one of the most important relationships that you can have is with a primary care physician, a general practitioner. These are your guides for your health journey throughout the course of your life. And so as you think about the constellation of resources that are building up around the St. Elizabeth's campus, look carefully at the services that are being offered. Think about the kinds of things that need to exist around those places and spaces, and that's where we will look to invest from a business perspective, and where we will invite partners from the healthcare community to plant their flag.
I'll take a few more on topic. Yes.
Mayor Bowser. Thank you. The announcement for this deal says 10 years and $2 million. Is that the totality of the investment? How will that money be used?
Thank you, Mayor. That is just the beginning. That is a place to start. So we are here for the next 10 years, not just in the building and in the community. We are here to set a foundation. So we are making an initial $2 million investment to put those blocks into place. I fully expect and anticipate you will see and hear from us in the future about what we are going to do to build on that foundation. Some of that will be follow-on investment from Care First in those two places that I described. Some of that will be in the form of an invitation to our partners to follow on with us. And so what we're looking to do is to take the density that the mayor has created on this site, add to it private sector resources, and invite others to join us.
Just following up on that, Jenna Portnoy, Washington Post, sorry, I forgot to mention that. Will the $2 million be distributed in the form of grants to community groups? Are you going to build something brick and mortar on the site?
Yeah, so initially we're going to lay the groundwork with grant making. And so Care First has a philanthropic arm. We have an organization called our Community Health and Social Impact Team. Many of our partners are here today. We will be making grants and making investments in 501c3s that support the community. We'll be helping to organize those investments based on input from Monica and others. And then from those initial investments, we'll look on for follow-on opportunities as well as structural commitments that we as a company can make here as well.
Any other questions?
Small question.
Uh-huh.
So the healthcare, is it free, or are there certain things around Medicaid coverage? I'm just wanting some clarity on that, as far as what's being offered in this with Care First, with the preventative care. Is it going to be free?
There's no health care being provided here. Is that your question?
No, that's not my
Oh,
question.
okay.
I was talking about the preventative measures that are being provided in this deal. Are they going to be free? I just wanted clarity around that.
I think what Brian just said is that there would be grants made to partners for the services that those partners offer. I don't know if I could answer that for every instance. Yeah. Yeah.
That you mentioned. Can you clarify the date that it will open to the public and just what it means to the Ward 8 community to have that facility open up?
Well, it means a great deal to the community. I think you know that we have been very focused as a city on partnering with an academic institution and for the city to get out of operating a hospital. So it means a big deal. We are very grateful that GW Health is our partner at Cedar Hill, and the United Health, United Health, Universal Health is an amazing hospital operator that's going to work with us on that. And the expected date is April 15th. Yes.
Mayor Bowser, just following up on that, do you expect UMC to close that same day, or what's your plan for that? And if I might, will labor and delivery be open on day one?
I don't want to talk about all of how it all will ramp up. We do expect that there will be a ramp up of services. So whatever needs to happen on day one for a hospital to operate will happen. And then there will be other ramp ups over the course of several months likely for all the lines of service. So I will have the team give you an update on how that all falls. Wayne, do you want to talk about the ramp down of UMC?
Good morning. UMC is in the process of closing, obviously. There will be warning notices issued to all of the staff at UMC today, actually. Those warning notices will set trigger dates beginning as early as April 6th, stretching through September 30th. The goal is to ramp down services to the point that it closes for operation the day that Cedar Hill opens. Thank you.
How many employees are being notified? And I'm sorry, can you clarify how many employees are being?
I don't know the answer to that, Mark, but all of the employees will be notified at some point because that hospital is closing and the new hospital is opening, and that is our North Star. Okay, thank you, everybody.
We now return to our previously scheduled program, already in progress.
For the big reveal that the rain is preventing us from. And we're your community, so we're going to have fun today. So if you don't mind, thank you.
Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. Excuse me,
Once
guy.
again, we want to make space for our cameras if you don't mind. So.
Get down in front, down. Right here, please, please. Yes, sir, thank you. Sorry. Step aside a little bit. Cool, you're good. Thank you.
We are not ready. Hold on one moment, if you don't mind. We're going to get the band in place to commemorate this wonderful occasion. Once the band is in place, Mayor Bowser will lead the reveal of the new Care First Arena logo here.
Still rolling here. Pull it back.
All right, Madam Mayor, the floor is yours again. The great reveal and the 3 steps back. On your count, Madam Mayor.
1, 2, 3.
Once again, we'd like to thank everybody for making their way to the new Care First Arena here in Southeast Washington,
Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. Can y'all hear me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Y'all should be good. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right.
Test, you getting sound here? Yeah. I mean, it's, you know. 7.
Do a quick test. Testing 1, 2. Testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everything's good?
Mic check. Mic check. Hello, hello. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Huh? No, I can't do it. David, you good? All right.
Alexis, you know who's taking the microphone? This is a microphone for the reporters, but I'm not sure who's supposed to be taking it.
Yeah, that's
Hey, how are you? Okay, any questions? Questions?
You can't compete with Michael Jackson.
Any questions? Okay, no questions?
No, we have questions.
guys ready?
Hey, folks.
We're obviously always focused on violent crime and pushing it down. So any violent crime is too high. Anything else?
Bowser, yes, there's a couple of questions on federal funding for the district. One, the district has about 4,000 employees, full FTEs, that are federally funded through federal grants somehow. given the president's cutting of the federal workforce, have those employees received the notices of being able to self-terminate like other federal employees have? And
No, they're not federal employees.
Right, okay, and so can you just tell us what you're doing, what your concerns, if any, if that federal funding were to dry up for those 4,000 employees, many of whom work in public safety, DC public schools?
If I follow your question, are you asking that
if that federal funding went away, as all federal funding seems to be in danger these days?
Well, I think that's hyperbolic. What we know is that just like all of the states that rely on formula funds that are part of their budgets, we have part of our budget includes federal funds. And so none of those funds have been terminated.
Are you preparing for or concerned about the possibility that they might, particularly the ones that fund employees?
We're always concerned about any major impact to our budget, but that hasn't happened, and we will deal with that as it comes. And
then can I ask you, in a similar vein, it's been reported that when the president temporarily rescinded federal funding, the ASAP portal was temporarily closed, and that caused at least some projects in the district to pause temporarily. I know the ASAP portal has been reopened. I'm just wondering if those projects that were temporarily paused have been restarted. Are they back on schedule? And then if you're making plans to draw down money from ASAP in an expedited manner in case that portal might be closed again.
Mark, the federal government always has the ability to claw back funds. So we are carefully monitoring the executive orders and what they signal in terms of programs that could be discontinued. And we are either spending or planning for drawdowns or reimbursements accordingly.
My last question. Today is the deadline for federal employees. You've seen what's happened at USAID. And you mentioned just earlier this week, you tweeted out about the number of people using Metro coming back into the city. So it seems to be a double-edged sword with some age. Can you comment on that? You represent so many of these people. Either they're people who come into the city to work and they are represented by you, or they are federal employees who live in D.C. and are represented by you.
So I've said from the beginning that we have built the infrastructure in this city and in this region for the most productive American workforce. So we believe strongly that the federal presence, agency headquarters, in work around the federal government that relies in large part on the Congress or interactions with the administration should be right here in Washington, D.C. So we recognize that the government, think what you want about it, is undergoing a review of all federal spending. And so we want to emphasize that the employees that are doing the work for the federal government should be right here in Washington, D.C. We also are encouraged that more workers are coming to their places of work in Washington, D.C., and we are encouraged by that. But as you say, if there is a illogical or approach to trimming federal workforce or agencies, I think that has to be reviewed by the Congress of the United States and lawfully. And I think we all have to hold the administration to account to make sure any moves for congressionally approved agencies, FTEs, and budgets are handled lawfully. Yes.
Employees and healthcare providers like Doctors of Children's National have told us they worry the president's executive orders jeopardize their mission to protect and care for young people in the city. What advice has your administration given them about how to respond to orders, especially affecting trans kids?
DC, you said DC public schools said what?
DCPS and healthcare providers have concerns, especially healthcare providers.
DCPS doesn't have concerns.
Okay. What about healthcare clinics?
The healthcare, you have to give me.
Children's National Hospital has removed gender-affirming care from their website and has suspended all gender-affirming care as a result of the president's executive order. Have you been in touch with leadership there?
The leadership at Children's have advised us about their operations, and of course, as long as they are in accordance with their certificate of need and other regulations in the district, then we're supportive of their actions.
What are your concerns currently given the attacks on DC on all sorts of fronts, including home rule? How are you feeling about the strength of home rule at this point in the administration? This
is what I've said repeatedly, and I'll end it here because this isn't kind of new territory, is that the district is going to focus on the district and doing its job and strengthening our relationships in the Congress and with the administration. Okay. All right. Thank you.
We now return to our previously scheduled program, already in progress.